Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special council meeting, September 28, 2022. I'd like to welcome Deputy Mayor McColeman and all of my fellow councillors. And we have our CAO, Gordon McFarlane, with us tonight. And we have our engineer from Technical Services, Aaron McDonald, and Linda Stevenson from Technical Services, and Brian Harlick here on the left running the controls, and members of the public, and I understand Colin McLean is watching on YouTube, and other members of the media. So welcome to all to this special meeting, and it's 6 o'clock. We call the meeting to order. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Moved by Councillor Adams and seconded by Councillor McDougall. All in favour say aye. Aye. Contrary nay. Carried. Okay, we'll turn it over to the Chair of the Planning Board Committee, Councillor Brian McFeely. The floor is yours, sir.
I thank you, Your Worship, and we'll get right into it. We have an application here for restricted use at 19 Lorne Avenue. The background and application was received from Ryan's Landscaping and Snow Services, Inc. for 19 Lorne Avenue, PID numbers 70276, 584 524, 995 506. This application will require City Council approval to allow a light construction company as a restricted use in the service commercial C2 zone. Light construction company is a construction company with equipment related to construction and maintenance of buildings, sidewalks, driveways, landscaping services, and may include private property snow removal. And there's a map there, Your Worship, showing the subject property on North Drive. The application was advertised in the September 4th edition of The Guardian, and letters were mailed to property owners within 60 meters or 200 feet of subject properties. So the service commercial C2 zone, the permitted uses, subject to bylaw requirements, and they're listed there under commercial, residential, and institutional. I won't read them all, Your Worship. I think we can just table them there. And they're up on the board, and council has had the package for a while, and the package has been released to the public. So in the C2 zone discretionary use, the commercial and institutional needs are listed there as well. And there's other conditional uses that are subject to the development officer approval, the residential, and there's 3 or 4 things there: home-based businesses, tourism establishments, B&B, and vacation rental property, and secondary suites. So now is the time that we move into comments and questions, and we would invite the applicant, Ryan Walfield, to make any comments he wishes to make. And I think Ryan is there? You're hiding behind, I can't see you, he's behind the podium. So I'll ask you to just state both your names and an address for the public record, please.
I'm Courtney Walfield, 1400 Route 11, Summerside, PEI, C1N 483.
And I'm Ryan Walfield, same address.
1400, what was the street, sorry?
Route 11.
Route 11.
Oh, Route 11, okay.
Okay. Any comments that you folks may have?
Not really, no.
Okay.
The only thing that we kind of just wanted to bring to the attention is that, excuse me, I know that it's considered like commercial, but we don't, or like construction, but we don't have any big machinery other than farm tractors that we use in the winter. We own 2 of them, and they're parked during the summer unless he needs to use the loader to move something, and the other 5 are rented. So there's not really any loud noises or anything for equipment. Our drivers all take them home before the storms. So there's not a lot of in and out besides Ryan and his
Buildings there just for maintenance on the tractors, so.
yeah, he's just going to be repairing or maintenance after every storm and that kind of stuff. And then during The rest to store the implements that go on his utility tractor that we use for the landscaping, but we don't have anything else bigger than that. Cause I know that was one of the concerns that one of the neighbors had said to me, but we don't own any of that. It's currently all in our backyard, so it's not.
Right. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And now is the point in time where we would open the floor to the public to invite comments. We don't have any members of the public here. I guess the other question is, was there any feedback to staff?
There was a phone call for clarity, that just asking about what the application was about, and the person indicated that they would submit written comments if they had them. And we also received an email. We'll include that in the planning board report.
Planning board report, okay, thank you. And,
So you, Mr. Chairman, just in regards to that, the emails and the phone calls, were they from the number of meters in the area, or?
Yes, one was a neighbor on East Drive, and the other two neighbors were on Lorne Avenue themselves. So,
those will be included in the report, the planning board.
yeah, correct.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments from council? Councillor McDougall. Oh, excuse me, Councillor Durant.
Sure, okay, thanks, Councillor McFeely. I guess just a question of clarity for the applicants. I know they're, I was speaking with them off and on over the last number of weeks, I guess. I know they're eager to get going, so I'm just wondering if we can, if Aaron or Linda, if you can just kind of provide a timeline as to when they're able to actually start the operations that they're wanting to do in that location, because I know it's snow blower based, winter, seasonal, and it's coming up, and I know they want to get to it. So can we just provide sort of just some clarity as to when they can actually start what they'd like to do at that location?
So currently, we have a planning board meeting scheduled for October 4th, and then the monthly council meeting's October 17th, unless council wants to schedule another meeting otherwise. And then there is a 21-day appeal period on any decision, but I mean, they could still proceed at their own risk. But.
So would it be possible to move it ahead immediately after that planning board meeting? I know we've done things like that before, especially when there's no opposition and it looks like a green light to go ahead. Are we able to maybe kind of add that to a special council meeting agenda right after that planning board meeting in early October? And should it go ahead, tonight to planning board? And
I think that's a good idea, personally.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't see that. I guess I'd be looking at the CAO.
sometimes we kind of sporadically do that at the planning board meeting, but
Yeah.
now we're kind of in advance. If we can maybe just
I
kind of
think,
plan to do that at this point.
I think you just may want to wait and see what comes forward from staff to the
Sure,
planning board
yeah.
and see, because at this point, we know there's going to be at least, or potentially one written submission, so I think, but at that planning board, depending on what the planning recommendation is, the planning board, you could likely schedule if council wanted to, you could likely schedule a special council meeting for noon or something to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd just be a little hesitant to recommend.
Yeah, I should have,
schedule it
pending
tonight,
anything that
because
might come back to
Yeah, if there's,
not,
if there's opposition, then I think we need to let the process unfold so that
of course, yeah.
it's,
Okay.
prudent and.
Is that acceptable?
Councillor McDougall.
Okay.
Yeah. Ryan, the question I had was, would there be anything there that would be making a loud noise or anything like that that would bother the neighbors, or would they be working all night or anything like that?
Come to the microphone.
You just come to the microphone if you could, yeah.
No, there shouldn't be. We work like 8 to 5, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Snow removal time, it's usually in the middle of the night, but as I said, the tractors are usually, the drivers have the tractors home.
Yeah.
And, everybody needs to get out, so there's gotta be a little push and shove there with noise of the tractors, but usually the tractors would only be there for maintenance, and then they'd be taken home with the drivers, so,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Have you talked to the neighbors, and has there been
Well,
any opposition?
We actually do the snow removal on Lorne Avenue.
Snow removal for Lorne Avenue last year, and
Perfect.
there was no issues with any noise or anything.
Perfect,
Yeah.
yeah.
First
Okay.
First street in town to be plowed out, probably.
Yeah, it's probably the first street in town to be plowed, yeah.
Yeah, and we do about 750 driveways, so, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
it's-
Okay,
Yeah,
no, awesome, good luck.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions from council before we move on? So with that, an explanation of the process. In order to process a restricted use, the following steps are required. One, the restricted use is read at a public meeting, and step one is taking place this evening. Two, planning board reviews the application and prepares a recommendation to council. Step two takes place at the planning board meeting, which is presently scheduled for October 4th. That's at 5 o'clock, October 4th? It's a regular committee night, yeah. Three, the restricted use is read to be adopted by council. The resolution will be either carried or defeated by a vote of council. And step three takes place at the council's second meeting, which is presently scheduled for October 17th, but could possibly be altered. So basically, as a result of tonight's meeting, staff will prepare a report that'll go to planning board on October the 4th. Planning board will make a recommendation based on our discussions at that meeting to council, and then all of council will vote on it at a public council meeting. So that's the process.
That's Tuesday, right? October the 4th?
Yeah.
It's open to the public.
Please note that in accordance with section 5.20, the city zoning bylaw, any person who is dissatisfied by a decision of council in respect to the administration of this bylaw may appeal council's decision within 21 days to the Island Regulatory and Appeals Commission. And that, your worship, wraps up my piece of the meeting.
Thank you very much. I guess we've gotten to the end of the agenda, the business processed. Anyway, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting? Moved by Councillor McDougall and seconded by Councillor Durand. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary nay? Motion carried. And we'll